Welcome everybody to the Pirate Skills Meetup. Today we're going to talk about growing your LinkedIn network. You can get all of the information at getpirateskills.com/LinkedIn-network. For example, you can download the slides, see the recordings if you watch this in the future, and you can see all of the other stuff as well. But let's talk about what we got lined up for you for today. First of all, I want to explain to you the broad LinkedIn growth strategy that we prefer here at Pirate Skills. And that goes deeper into three segments. The first one is finding the right people, the right way, and going into search and sales navigator and stuff like that. Then we're going to talk about connecting and how you can systematically and authentically connect with the people in your tribe. And then last but not least, you don't want to connect people only on LinkedIn. You want to get them away from LinkedIn into email, have meetings with them, and get the relationship more involved. So we're going to talk about how to bring those leads into your own CRM. And then, as I said, we have the chance to have a big Q&A. All of your questions can come in through Slido. Cool. So in case you don't know me, I'm Ben. I'm the founder of Pirate Skills. And I've started web and app startups, e-commerce and software as a service since 2008. I now feel most at home in the realm of growth marketing, which is kind of a nerdy, a bit technical marketing that is very data-driven, very committed to experimentation. And LinkedIn has been for me by far the channel where we have the most traction, where we get the most followers each month. In addition, on the page as well as on the individual profiles of our team members. So we even did the last meetup that was about content marketing and storytelling, completely about LinkedIn content. We called it LinkedIn Content Magic. And I would highly suggest this as the starting point for your LinkedIn journey. It is, in my opinion, much more important to get your content marketing game right first before you enter the network growth game. So check out getpirateskills.com/magic, where you will discover all of the videos and slides for free, as always, that will teach you what kind of content you should be posting, how often, some tools that will help you make your life easier as a content creator on LinkedIn. So I hope you love that resources. Please let me know in the comments if you liked it. Cool. As always, since the last time we introduced the case study of Monday Rocks, which is a B2B company that has an app that helps team leaders to have more successful teamworks, to architect the team structure, to harmonize the team, to find the right people for the right job at the right time. You can check them out at Monday Rocks. And why do we do this case study? We think that just talking theoretically about LinkedIn growth, for example, is just way too boring. So we'll always try to break it down. How does this apply to a real case study, which also has led us to two strategies we talked about during the last meetup last month, 2 weeks ago, where we introduced like the complete growth strategy. And there we had two ways to go towards LinkedIn. The one was content marketing and paid advertising. The other one was how about LinkedIn networking? And this is why we go deep on that one today. So the general idea today is what happens if we connect like 2,500 people, maybe 500 people accept that, 250 people get a message, 50 people are chatting seriously, and 8 people buy it. The product costs $500, you get 4,000 euro. The equivalent on the paid advertising side was, what if we spend 3,000 euro on LinkedIn ads, and then what needs to happen for us to get 4,000 euro in cash, which would be a nice return of investment, at least for the beginning. Yeah, later we of course want some better results. But this is the equivalent in the organic way. Now you can learn how to do this by exchanging your time against money. And if you wonder, when I'm looking down here, there's my iPad over there, and I can draw on this beautiful thing like this. I can highlight some key points. We don't actually need to really go for 2,500 people. So let's start it off. So the first segment of this LinkedIn growth, network growth meetup is going to be all about the broad strategy, how we can grow your profile, primarily personal profile on LinkedIn. The key concept that we preach is first of all, give, then ask. This is a nice shot from Pirate Summit 2016, I think. And the guy in the middle is Manuel Kuhlmann. On the left I am, and on the right is Randolph Joberg, one of the guys who actually introduced me to entrepreneurship. And Manuel and Till Allman, the captains of the Pirate Summit, they always focus on exactly that. Giving first, leading that community that we are in to that approach, to that attitude of not just taking. And this is what's been going wrong on LinkedIn recently. All of us have just been spammed by messages by people who have in their bio, I help people to do X by doing Y. Yeah, they all have the same bullshit sentence in there, and they usually have something like high ticket closers somewhere else in their bio. And they completely abuse the LinkedIn system. So I say to that, fuck it, we have to go a different way. And this is where the first step in the LinkedIn content, in the LinkedIn growth strategy is to give, ask. And as I said before, in my opinion, the best way to do that is to focus on good content marketing on your LinkedIn profile. We did a complete meetup about that. Check it out. The second step in the LinkedIn strategy is to identify your tribe. We need to find the people on LinkedIn that you are interested in, that are your people, that you can really help. And to the search, as you will see in the upcoming parts of this series, the search features of LinkedIn are just amazing. Yeah, this is another picture from the Pirate Summit. No other event is giving me this feeling of this is my tribe. This is the people that I have to take care of. Not that I want to sell shit to, that I want to connect with, that I want to support and uplift. And as I uplift them, they are helping me as well. That is the attitude we need to have when we watch out for authentic LinkedIn growth. That does not mean slow by any means, but much more authentic than what we are usually seeing in the LinkedIn reel. The third part is then to go out and to connect like crazy. Here on this picture, again from Pirate Summit, you see Victoria Blechmann. Victoria Blechmann is a friend of mine, and she is one of the most prolific and authentic connectors I know in the startup community of Cologne and way beyond. She knows everybody loves her, she's helping everybody, and everybody's helping her. Yeah, it's people like her who are proactively getting in touch with people, looking for win-win situations, that I'm looking up to when it comes to my connection approach. But it is very much about activity and pushing that. So, and the last part is to follow up with purpose. I want you to realize that everybody you can connect to on LinkedIn is not just a potential customer. Here in this case, I found my potential business partner. He is my best friend, and we were here at Pirate Summit together, didn't do business together. He was working in an agency. I was trying to build this Pirate Skills thing. And now he joined this company. And because we kept in touch, because we went together to events like this, we always wanted to do that, but we both were surprised actually that we pulled this shit off. Yeah, that we finally working together, that we're fulfilling this dream. So of course you can find customers on LinkedIn, but you can find investors, you can find co-founders, you can find evangelists for your brand. It is not just about selling, and that always relieves me from the pressure of trying to be too salesy. Yeah, it's not even the goal. It's about connecting, providing value, helping each other. Yeah, sounds super idealistic, but let me tell you one thing. LinkedIn at the moment could do with a little more idealistic people, especially in terms of people who are marketing and selling on LinkedIn. So I'm really not worried about that. So in summary, what is the basic strategy? And we will handle each part of that strategy. First, give, ask. Go to the LinkedIn Content Magic meetup a couple of weeks ago and check that out. That is to me the way to go on that end. Second idea, identify your tribe. We will look at search strategies on LinkedIn where you can find your people, connect. What kind of behaviors and tools and whatever you can use to connect to people the right way. What should you be writing, for example? And how do you follow up with people after you have connected with them and they have shown intent? That is the strategy. So if you have any questions about this, or if you perceived any value, hit me up in the comments. Use the opportunity to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it. Leave a like and leave a little comment. Thank you very much. So again, questions will be done through Slido. Yeah, we have now connected the first part, conclude the first part of this meetup. What is the broad strategy? And the next one, in the next video, if you're not watching this live, is going to be about finding the right people. So let's see if we got the first questions coming in on slido.com. If you just joined, we have this crazy good platform called slido.com. If you enter the code R or scan in this hashtag, this QR code, you will be able to see some questions here. What do we have here? We got first just a couple of upvotes. Oh, nice amount of questions. That's looking good. But go a bit stronger on the upvoting part. So even if you don't have any questions, hit up to Slido and upvote the questions that you personally are most interested in. Like, Windows is the new Mac. I know that might be confusing, but people who have been bugging with this since a couple of months know what I'm talking about. Cool. Again, we always provide the slides on getpirateskills.com/LinkedIn-network. You will also see cuts of the videos in a couple of days. Ali is doing that. Christina is doing all of the uploading, which is really wonderful. And I hope you get value out of the downloads over there. And it's not just the slides from this meetup, but all of the past ones from the past 2.5 years. Cool. So the next part. Finding the right people on LinkedIn can be done in many ways. There are right ways, there are wrong ways, and now I want to show you what the ways are that I personally prefer to get good results. So again, we do this from the mindset out of a case study. Yeah, we talked about Monday Rocks, a B2B app that helps people to create and organize more successful teams. You can check them out at Monday Rocks. So if those people are looking for the right customers, what do we need to know? First of all, they are B2B, they are in consulting and software. They have high value customers, so they can not just burn people by spamming them to death. They need to be serious in their approach to the relationship. They want to target people in HR. They want to maybe target the team leaders directly, maybe even the CEOs. I guess company size from about 10, 50 to maybe 200 would be the right size. And they want people who are aspiring, they are aspiring to build an inbound sales funnel. So really building up a solid LinkedIn strategy is going to help them to achieve that, to not just do like outbound sales. Yeah, they want to get away from that. And I think LinkedIn sales strategies are like in the middle of that. So the first thing I would do if I was in Monday Rock's shoes or in your shoes is to really engage with the search features on LinkedIn. I always say like LinkedIn search is your friend. It's like completely powerful. You just go to LinkedIn and type in the kind of people you're looking for. In this case, we would be looking for HR managers. Yeah, and it already pulls up like a sub menu telling you Okay, do you want to look for jobs? Do you want to look for companies? Do you want to look for profiles? We want to go for the all results, first of all, to see what's coming up. And the free search is actually quite good. It is limited in the amount of times you can search. If you are on a free LinkedIn account, after like 50 searches in a certain period of time, probably a week, you will get a message that says like, hey, you seem to be a power searcher. Why don't you buy our sales subscription? Yeah, and I'll show you what the benefits are from those sales subscriptions with the Sales Navigator. But start with the free LinkedIn search to get into it and to check it out. So here in this case, you already see, there is Dennis Becker, HR manager from Contentful. There's Lisa Schulz. There is Elke Wenzel. Doesn't look bad for the relationship building with Monday Rocks. All of those three people would probably be quite reasonable. And on the top right, you see, there are a lot of people here that are having the title Human Resources Manager on LinkedIn. It's 841,839 people actually have that title, probably globally. Yeah, but you also get different suggestions for search titles, for different job titles in the top right corner here. Just get that start going with linkedin.com/search. Yeah, all of those links are clickable, by the way. Yeah, so feel free to just try that out. So then you can apply search filters. Filters are ways here. Up here you can see that I have a regional filter running. I only search in Cologne area because if you're starting out with growth strategies on LinkedIn, it's reasonable to start locally because people trust people from their area more than people who are from far away. Why should they be connecting now? At least a region, a common region is a good starting point. Then I search for a specific industry, information, technology, and services. You can pretty much target any industry you can imagine. And I decided that I only want to see people who are 1 degree away, so 2nd degree contacts on LinkedIn. That means that there is not more than just one person between me and them that could give me an introduction. Yeah, that also increases the probability of them connecting to me, wanting to start a conversation. Yeah, because it's already like vetted by their own network. So I can see here now that 509 people actually got a result here, and I can now connect with them. I can check out their profile. I can pre-vet them and see, oh yeah, is this something for me or is this nothing? So that is the basic LinkedIn search with filters that already gets you very, very far until you hit the limits. Use the free stuff until you hit the limits and then consider subscribing to the paid services. So what are you getting in the paid services? The LinkedIn Sales Navigator is simply brilliant. Yeah, you can simply continue your search on the Sales Navigator. It's like an icon in the top right corner that you get once you pay like $70 per month for it. Depends on when you want to pay monthly or yearly. I pay monthly for it, about $70, and I think it's one of my best investments I do. What do I get in extra? Here you can still see the results that we got before, the HR managers in the region, Cologne, Bonn, 2nd degree connections, but we get way cooler filters. The filters on Sales Navigator are just simply OP. That is a nerd way to say it's overpowered. It's you can get stuff like how many people are working in that company. What is their seniority level? Like, I only want to target CXO level. I only want to target manager level. That is your choice now. You don't get that with the free version. And there's good reasons for it, because you could just be targeting the intern, that is in HR management. And you don't want that. You want to talk to the people who are making decisions. This tool makes it just much easier for yourself. If you go to business.linkedin.com, it will show you the marketing, the recruiting, and the sales features. Just enter the sales path and you will get led to the Sales Navigator. The recruiting tools do similar stuff, but they are more expensive by far because recruiting usually has a much higher cost involved with that. And of course, it has different additional features that are not interesting for you if you are not using LinkedIn for recruiting, but for sales. So in my opinion, stick with the Sales Navigator first, see what you can do there, and then move on from there. I have no need to go beyond Sales Navigator at the moment. So what does Sales Navigator do as well? Let's say Corinna Schüller, that's the woman we want to connect to. Now LinkedIn is suggesting to me a path. Oh yeah, there is a person that I'm familiar with that could introduce me. It also allows me to send messages, to write emails. It gives me some information, even highlights like content that might connect us. So it gives me inspiration for ways to approach that first message. Yeah, but that is part of the next part of this video series. So the other method I want to introduce you to that is very efficient, so you don't only can go through search, free, or Sales Navigator, you can go through mutual connections in your given network. Let's say, I call it like the second degree connection method, nothing weird about that. So go to a person in your own LinkedIn profile that you think has a great network, who is connected to good people. Enter their profile. Here I'm visiting Matthias's profile, and as you can see, we have 2,300 mutual connections. If I click on that, I get a list of all of those people that we are connected to, but it is still the first degree of connections. I'm already connected to them, so I don't, that is for a different part. That is not growing my network. That would be increasing the relationship I have with them. No, but I can simply change this from first degree to second degree, and I can also maybe regionalize it again. This is all in the free area of LinkedIn. You don't have to pay anything for this feature. So now I can see everybody who is connected with Matthias that I'm not connected to, but just 1 degree away in the area of Cologne. And here, this list is so incredible. If you just scroll through and look for people who you have a lot of connections with. Let's say here, Anke, I have 42 connections with her. Plus other 2 people that I already suggested. I have 48 people who are connected with Alexander Kaiser. And I can look through that list and look for the people and job titles that I'm interested in. And then you can simply press connect and either connect without a message or with a message. And I have an opinion on that, and we're going to talk about that on a different way. But this method, doing that on a daily basis, is by far the fastest way to grow your business, your LinkedIn network for free. So let's summarize. How do you find the right people on LinkedIn the right way? First of all, start with a free search. Filters are your friend. Upgrade only to the Sales Navigator once you hit the free limits, and then check out the mutual connections method there that I showed you last. That is it. That is the first part, finding the right people the right way. If you've gotten any value from this so far, do me a favor, go over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and maybe even a comment under this video. That would be really appreciated. So those were already the first 2 segments of this meetup. The general growth strategy here. If you haven't watched that already, then go back to the last video. And what we are going to talk about next is how to do those connection requests now very systematically. Cool. So if you have more questions, we have a big Q&A area on slido.com. If you enter the code R, you will go immediately to this area where you can see, oh yeah, there are new questions coming in, 15 questions so far. So thank you very much for everybody who submitted the questions, and to everybody who is upvoting. So you can not only submit questions, but you can upvote them as well. So the biggest question so far is, what are your thoughts on Linked Helper? Yeah, I might have squeezed in a link to the new beta version of Linked Helper somewhere here in the slides, but you'll have to watch out for that. So we are all also on Discord. This is where we have a chat community that goes beyond the meetup. It's nice to talk in the comments here, but after the meetup, the comment section is a bit dead. But on Discord, we can keep on discussing stuff. And it's not just about what I'm suggesting. You can use the Discord opportunity to please provide your best resources, tools, links, books that fit to the stuff that we are talking on right now. So join us on Discord if you like. Cool. So the next part. Connecting to people systematically and authentically is, in my opinion, after you have gotten the content marketing right and you have found your tribe, the next step you should be doing to increase your network on LinkedIn. Once you have found the people through the message I've shown you in the video before, for example, through the free LinkedIn search, through the sales navigator, or the second degree connection method, you now need to find a way on how to connect with them. And we get spammed a ton on LinkedIn. I don't know about you, but I guess I get like 10 messages per day on LinkedIn, and 7 out of them, they're just people I don't like. Yeah. So let's try not to be that. So of course there's the way that is built into LinkedIn that is paid, that is called in-mails. And in-mails are the method of last resort for me. And that's because they already look like spam. You're not connected to the person, so you have to pay to write an in-mail. As you can see, this would be my first in-mail out of 60 credits that I have because I have a Sales Navigator account. But I'm not using it, and I will never use them. I prefer to connect with people first. And if you use, for example, the second degree connection method and you press the connect button, then you will get this dialogue. Hey, do you want to send a message with those people or not? And there are 2 sides to this. Either you can send a message and that means the other person has to read it before they confirm it, which is an additional step for them to do. They don't actually have to read it, but it would feel impolite not to read it. And on the other hand, it shows that you're interested in a deeper relationship if you send a message. But on my end, I probably get like 20 connection requests per day. For me, it's even hard to read a message. So sometimes it can be better to send no message at all, to just connect and then send messages later. If you want to send a message, I have an example for you. Here's what I'm personally writing if I send a message. Hi, I'm Ben, founder of Pirate Skills. We organize a monthly meetup in Cologne around the topic growth marketing. Just wanted to connect with people that are also interested in marketing and live around Cologne. If you want to find out more about the meetups, have a look at pirateskills.com. Cheers, Ben. So if you're in Germany, you're probably wondering, should you say du or sie? Should you be formal or informal? I usually start formally, per sie, and then I propose the du at the end by writing ciao, Ben. Yeah, and the Ben implies that you can say du in German. Yeah, so lots of people are from Germany watching here, so that's why I'm explaining this. Even putting the link in this message is something I'm usually considering. Should I put the link in there? Should I not put the link in there? Because it could look more spammy. So if that feels too spammy, leave the link out, but consider that the first goal of the message is only to get the acceptance of the connection request. It's not about closing anybody. It's about mentioning mutual connections like the mutual region, mutual interests, and the value you might have to offer that is hopefully as a first step towards building trust to you for free. So that is the message I personally write. Write your own, write something that you authentically feel comfortable with. Cool. So then I always get the question, but how many people can I connect to, Ben? And I have to say, it depends on your network size. If you have less than 1,000 people, I would probably start with not more than 30 people per day. Maybe that might be even a lot, but connecting to 30 people per day is a reasonable starting point. You usually get told by LinkedIn that you're too active. So LinkedIn will let you know that you're exceeding the limits, and it's not bad to get a warning, but you should give it a 24-hour pause before starting to connect to more people again. If you get multiple warnings because you didn't listen to the first warning, seriously, take a break for 3 days. But yeah, we also want to grow our network fast. So 30 is a good starting point, but at the moment, this keeps on changing. About 100 connection requests is the reasonable maximum you can do with a large network. But that is for the lots of connection strategy, not for the few high quality strategy. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Do connect manually. Use your phone. All of the connection stuff is much easier on the phone than on the desktop. I think just the user experience is better. I prefer doing it over here. If I don't go for connection requests with messages, which is actually by now my preferred way. Check this out. This is a clickable link at the word this. If you must, if you don't want to go, this is a link to the beta version of Linked Helper. And this is something that LinkedIn will not appreciate me showing you guys. So let's keep going. So then you want to keep track of your progress. This is a wonderful app. I think one of the few ones that actually do good profile analytics. It's called shieldapp.ai. And it gives you an overview of how many people are visiting your page, which content is working best. And most importantly for me in this case is how is your LinkedIn network growth evolving? You can see that I have two very different periods. I have this period and I have this boring period. This is consistent hustle, connecting 30 people per day. This is doing just good content marketing. You can see the big difference. There is no, this is a linear scale, always 400, 400, 400, 400. And this is from the beginning of March to about today, or like end of June, yeah, this year. If you hustle consistently, you will get better results than if you don't. And you see how big the difference is when you hustle and when you don't. There is still LinkedIn growth happening once you exceed a certain threshold, but the hustle is very, very important. This was a test where I just did LinkedIn profile visits, not even connecting, but it's very slow, so I stopped that. So consistency in your approach is key to getting good results. Just wanted to show you that what happens if you do it and not. So connecting with people on LinkedIn can go two ways. You can go the way of few high quality connection. Let's say there are only 200 clients in your area and you can't afford to be shallow with any of them. Then you should go for a few connections that you build very deep relationships with and where you do a lot of research. The other way is to go for a lot more connections that are more low touch, yeah, where you don't invest that much time in research. And there are benefits for both methods, and it depends on where you are. Go for the few connections method if you have extremely high customer lifetime value clients. Where does it start? 50,000 per year and above. Yeah, that would be very high value clients. And from there, the research you can do never becomes too much, essentially. Yeah, the more research you put into it, the better. But there are benefits to the more connections method that go way beyond sales. Again, I want to implore you to think about how can you provide a great impact to the world with the product you have and the message you have behind that product. First of all, of course, more connections means more reach, means more opportunities. You will get invitations to all kinds of events if you have a lot of connections. You will grow your influence. You can take that to whatever is your next project. That is nothing anybody can take away from you but the owners of LinkedIn. So you can be reasonably sure that an investment in the growth of your LinkedIn network is an extreme good long-term thing. And this is the hot time to do it. It's going to become harder and harder as it has become on LinkedIn and Instagram. So use that time to build the connection. It does not mean that you can't build high value, high touch connections and I show you that way in the next section of this video when we talk about how to follow up like a pro. Yeah, you can still connect to a lot of people. And what's important is that you make it a very consistent, hopefully daily habit, because the limits on LinkedIn are usually a per day limit. So it's better to connect 30 people each day on 5 days a week than to try to connect to 150 people on one day. You usually get more problems if you want to connect to more people on a single day than to spread it out over the week. Sounds bothersome, but it builds a habit and it's much better in the eyes of the LinkedIn algorithm. Cool. So if you like that, hit us up on YouTube. Go to getpirateskills.com/YouTube to go to this channel. Leave a sub and a like and a comment. That would be extremely appreciated. Yeah, we are now at 351 subscribers and we want to hit the 400 mark as soon as possible. And in 1 year, I want to look back at this video and laugh out loud. So we covered the basic strategy. We showed you how to connect to people, what to actually do and how to connect systematically. And now the last part is all about bringing those leads into your CRM and following up like a boss. After that, we have some nice time for Q&A. For that, we have slido.com. If you enter the code R, you will be able to not only write your own questions, which are by now 21 questions, and I really hope my laptop will let us survive to the last question and not die on the way. We are now at 6% battery life, yeah, and it's going down super slow, but it's going down. So just as a warning. Oh yeah, there's still more questions coming in, more votes. As you can see, you can upvote questions and you can downvote. No, you can't downvote, but you can upvote them and you can add your own questions. So let's go back. Cool. So last but not least, bringing LinkedIn leads into your CRM, whatever you're using. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. And let's look for a moment beyond the tool. What does it mean? Customer Relationship Management. All what you do on LinkedIn, it has the goal to build relationship, to earn trust, to deliver value to people who can afford your services, so you get a good return of investment for your time and your efforts. It's honest business, but it only works when we actually build those relationships. Tools help us, of course, but this is like the last part of the journey. You have found the right people, you've connected with them, now you want to follow up. So there are a couple of methods to get the people to your CRM, and I'm going to show you two. The first one, and should probably be the one that you just start with, that you could potentially start with, is to get a copy of all of your data on LinkedIn. I put a link in the slide deck, so if you download the slides, you can just press this link and you get to this menu. It's in the privacy settings of your personal LinkedIn profile. This is where it says like download all the data you have. You get an email 10 minutes later with the download archive, and there is a complete list of your contacts with a lot of information about those contacts, and that is now importable. You could also use a tool that we might have mentioned before, like Linked Helper, to crawl through your given contacts and then export it from there. You get a lot of additional content there, but I might have not ever said that. So, but you have to think about it this way. Do you really want hundreds of unqualified people in your CRM? This is my contact list. It's 7,988 people, and probably after this meetup, 8,000. So do I want them in my CRM? I don't. I want to have the people in my CRM that are serious. What do we call serious people? sales qualified leads. In marketing, we define marketing qualified leads as people who have shown interest, who have maybe subscribed to a newsletter, who have shown engagement, and then at the point we want to hand them over to sales, we call them marketing qualified leads. Now, if a sales guy says, that looks interesting, I'm going to follow up on that, then it's a sales qualified lead. So SQL in short. What makes a sales qualified lead for me personally? First of all, they have passed my initial research filter. I've been searching for those people, so I have used filters and parameters like the company size, job title, seniority, and they have gone through that. They have accepted the connection request. Sounds super basic, but not everybody accepts your connection request. Then this is the hardest one, the hardest filter. They have actually answered the messages that you sent to them. I would say maybe 20% of people who you send a message to answer. That, of course, that depends on your approach and the message that you're sending. But since all of us are overwhelmed by email and now messages as well, you can't expect everybody to give you an answer. But the people that are interested, they're going to send you a message. So they can also make use of an offer. After people have replied to me, I will invest more time and talk to them and see if they could actually use my product or my service. And if they can't use it, I don't want them in my CRM. Yeah, I might have other uses for them, benefits that we can share and exchange, but it's not where I want people in my CRM. And last but not least, if they are interested in the meeting, this is the latest point where we'll definitely put them into the CRM. Maybe one point before, but once they are interested in a meeting and maybe a meeting is set up or we're talking about having a meeting and I don't want to forget it anymore, that I want a meeting with that guy and that guy wants a meeting with me, then they will definitely be qualified as an SQL for me, and we will set up a meeting and I will put them into the CRM. That's the manual method that I very much prefer to keep a clean CRM. So then I add those SQL, sales qualified leads, to the CRM. Here is an actual screenshot from my CRM called ActiveCampaign and the sales pipeline that people are in. So first of all, they land on the left-hand side on a list of people I'm interested to actively connect and reach out. Then there are some people that are highly interesting. In my personal opinion, they go on the high potential list. They move from left to right. And the LinkedIn people that I'm actively chatting with, they might land immediately in the in contact list because we are already talking about making an appointment. So they land here. If they're particularly promising, they go into the hot contact list. And on the right-hand side from that, we already have a meeting. We might want to create an offer. And we actually track this until the first invoice that is being paid. That is my opinion on how far to go. Most people end up at signing the contract, which is fine as well. So this is what you do with the people. You put them into your sales pipeline in order to not forget them, in order to prioritize them, who you can help, who wants your help, and that has a win-win situation for both of you. So that's what I do here. And then if they are in my interest list and I have Sales Navigator, for example, applied, I mark them as a lead, and now I will engage with their content and I will connect them in my own content. I think a guy who does it really well, I mentioned him before, he is one of the two captains of the Pirate Summit. And in his recent post from, I think, 2 days ago, he applauds his own team. The Pirate X crew is absolutely on fire. And he now tags people and praises them and mentions them in their efforts. And this creates immense engagement. Everybody who's being tagged, for them, this post is highly visible. They are highly incentivized to comment on this. And you can see that he got already 100 likes and 7 comments under this posts. So Till is also a great guy that I look up to in terms of connecting. So Victoria, Blechmann, Till Allman are people that are just born connectors who do it in a way that is zero douchebag and full of heart and authenticity. So I always try to look towards people like that to not become a marketing douchebag myself, which seems to become my life goal. So again, the give, ask method is absolutely key here. First, giving. And we talked about this in detail, how to give on LinkedIn during the LinkedIn Content Magic meetup, which you can download all of the videos and slides to for free at getpirateskills.com/magic. So I really think you could use this as a starting point and then start with the LinkedIn network growth. First, show what you have to offer, show your competence, your empathy and authority, then do more of the connection magic. So let's summarize. How do you get people from LinkedIn to your CRM? You download your contacts, all of your connections, and then you can filter them there. You could use a tool like Linked Helper to screen your content, your connections. You can also get the followers and email addresses there. It's really nice. Then you want to add the sales qualified leads manually or semi-automized to your CRM. And then you want to engage with those people with their content and your own content. And then you don't want to sell, you want to give, ask, you want to follow up like a pro and see, is there a mutual benefit? Is this a win-win situation when you buy my stuff? I really don't mind selling my stuff because I'm committed to only selling it when I can create a win-win situation. And if somebody is not happy, I've never even once ran after an invoice that was not being paid. That happened twice in my life, and I just said, okay, they're not happy, then that is okay. But I think 2 invoices in roughly 10 years of entrepreneurship not being paid is really decent. So that was the last part. So now we have the LinkedIn growth strategy, which consists of finding the right people the right way on LinkedIn, connecting with them systematically, and then following like a boss by bringing them over to your CRM and following up there. We talked a ton about marketing automation and other meetups if you're interested in what to do once they are in your CRM. But we now open up for the Q&A section, which is going to be the next video in the series if you're watching this after the live stream. Cool. So we are in the LinkedIn growth strategy Q&A. Welcome. I'm super curious to see what kind of questions we got. We kick off the Q&A section usually with feedback from you guys. So let's see what you guys have been asking, and let's initialize the first live poll we have, which is, how likely would you recommend this event to a friend or a colleague? That is the typical MPS questions. Please go to slido.com, enter the code R if you're not already there, and let us know how helpful this was for you by telling us how likely you would recommend this meetup to a friend or colleague. So we got already 3 votes coming in. You can see the results live. And we will just keep this up while we start talking about the first questions that we have coming in. So let's see. So just keep those up and running. I will start to answer the first questions while you keep on voting here. So the first question is how to connect with users high up in the hierarchy, VPs, directors, C-suite, using maximum of 300 characters. So actually it is easier to connect with people if you write short, high up in the hierarchy, if you write short messages. First of all, you should be thinking about, should I actually go directly towards them, or do we have mutual connections that can give me a warm lead? That is the first question I would ask. So If you have somebody in the company who is an interested decision maker, then ask them to introduce you to the VP, to the C-level people. That is much, much more likely that you will ever land a deal that way. If you decide to go to the C-level or VP directly, they will very much appreciate short messages. The higher up people are in an organization, the more messages they usually get. And that means that if you send a long message, it is extremely likely that you did not do that specifically for that person. It is much more likely that you just copy pasted to all of the VPs for HR management in the world. So keep it short, keep it brief, look for a warm introduction, and just ask them to connect. That is the first thing. And after that, you don't have that 300 limit anymore. And once they accepted the connection, you can then follow up and look how you can help them. Remember that the main goal here is not to sell them through LinkedIn, but to actually set up a meeting, to set up a call, usually, especially in those times. So that is the answer to that question. So thank you everybody who has activated the poll. 16 people, 8.0 net, not net promoter score, but average. That's neat. Yeah, the net promoter score will be totally destroyed this time, but actually we really appreciate that feedback. If you have suggestions how we could improve, please just send a message to me. Yeah, we are looking always for ways to make this better for you, more valuable. Since there are some people here that we're not super satisfied, that would absolutely be awesome if you sent me a message and told me, like, if you had done it this way or that way, it would have helped much more. And then we will keep on working to make it as awesome as possible for you guys. Cool. So let's close that poll, or just switch over to the Q&A. So everybody, we answered the first question. Now let's go to the next one. What are your thoughts on Linked Helper? Yeah, we might have mentioned it a few times. Now we can actually take some time to expand on what Linked Helper actually is. Linked Helper used to be a Chrome plugin that you can install that automatically latches on the LinkedIn search and then crawls results, connects people automatically, writes initial contact request messages, all that goodness. Of course, there have been good and bad times with Linked Helper. In my own experience, LinkedIn is not a fan of automated tools, so they are always always a bit of wary and trying to suppress the usage of this kinds of tools. But where the Linked Helper really comes in handy is everything that you do extremely regularly and that you're completely bored by. Let's say you do the 30 connection requests, you have found your audience, you have found the message that people accept your request with on a very high percentage, and you have to do this for the next 3,000 people in Chile. Why not take a little bit of help from Linked Helper to use it? I would highly recommend searching for the new Linked Helper. It's still in beta, but it is actually an installable piece of software for Mac, Linux, and Windows. So let's search for Linked Helper 2. And you can sign up through there. It is worlds better than the Chrome plugin. So don't go through the normal linkedhelper.com page, but go through this site and download the appropriate starter package. This is still semi in beta, but I have made great experiences with this new version, and I like it much more. The user interface is better. It is also well suited to connect multiple accounts, company accounts, team accounts, and manage it from a single computer, even with different proxies for each account that is connected on that single computer. So it's really, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Can't say anything else about it. So those are my thoughts. Use it with care, but use it when you get really bored. So, should I remove people who just want to sell? Yes, I do the same. I just can't stand the people who just want to sell. They are just leeches. They give us a bad reputation. They annoy the hell out of me, and they waste my time. So they get removed from my accounts. So, what do you think about Link Match, a tool to connect with Pipedrive? So there are a couple of tools that match the leads in Sales Navigator with your CRM. I think the most advanced integrations are with Salesforce and why ever with Microsoft Dynamics. Of course, Microsoft owns LinkedIn. That is the only reason why, but I personally hate Dynamics. So those integrations do sadly go only usually in one direction. If you have the person in your CRM, let's say Pipedrive, it tries to match it to a LinkedIn account and enrich the information in your CRM. I absolutely like that feature. It is always helpful to, for example, identify influencers on your lead list who have a lot of followers. You can find much more easily like common interests. You get, for me, it's a great opportunity to let it influence the lead score in my CRM if I get that kind of match. There are a gazillion tools that are not only Link Match or for Pipedrive, but for pretty much every CRM out there. But it's this one directionness that I don't like. That is why I showed you the complete import method, the crawling method, and the adding people manually to your CRM method. So I like this. All right, next question. In terms of networking, what's your opinion on quality versus quantity of connections? Yes, so as I said, the quantity approach has the big advantage of building reach and trust over time. I personally go for the quantity of connections approach. I definitely have the goal to go beyond 10,000 followers or connections on LinkedIn by the end of the year. For a couple of reasons. First of all, it increases your influence. People get a chance to consume your content that I'm putting a lot of time creating. Yeah, I really spend the most time in content creation, trying to deliver value. But if I don't have connections that are watching the stuff like this meetup, then it doesn't have as much impact, and you don't know how those connections are evolving over time. I have people that I've been connected with on LinkedIn for a couple of years that are now telling me, oh Ben, I've been watching your videos since 4 years. How about we start working together? It's crazy. It's the long tail that I'm investing in. And I still take the time to build the high quality connections with the people who show great engagement by interacting more strongly with the people that like, comment, and comment on my own content. So that's how I balance those two approaches. So, but if you are in an industry that has very few customers, I used to work with a team who needed to connect to energy grid providers, and there are like 12 in Germany. You don't need to go for any kind of quantity approach. Your thousands of connections will not help you at all. The 5 right connections is all that you need, and don't even need to do that on LinkedIn. That is my opinion. On LinkedIn, in my opinion, it's worth to build a broad network of connections. It will serve you in the long run a ton. That's my opinion. Cool. So LinkedIn advertising, is it still so pricey per click? Dude, it's so fucking pricey per click. We now have like some video engagement campaigns where we thought we got cheap clicks, but it's like $20. But I usually end up like between 5 and 6 euros per click. No, it's still crazy. This is why I personally prefer to go through the video view format. Video view promotion does not force me to create a link in the ad, and that doesn't get penalized by LinkedIn. So I get for 15 euro, maybe 1,000 views, and which I can definitely work with. I usually have a cost per view of like 3 to 4 cents per video view, and I believe in the long tail of the connection and trust building that happens there. You can definitely go for high ticket click-based sales on LinkedIn if you have a high customer lifetime value product. Let's say your product usually has a customer lifetime value of more than 3,000 euro. You can afford a lot of 5 euro clicks that fail to convert only a couple of people, and you will make your money back. Of course, it depends on your margins, but you need to look at your business model if it's viable or not. If you don't think it's viable, go for the video view approach like I'm using at the moment. I can maybe share that. If you guys are interested, let me know, and we can have a whole meetup about LinkedIn advertising if you like. Cool. Next question. What do you prefer? Do you prefer paid or organic growth, and why? I kind of lost my patience for pure organic growth 2 years ago, I think. The longer I've been in this entrepreneurship game, and maybe the older I get, the more I appreciate the factor of time that I have. I usually need 3 to 5 years for a good startup to take it off the ground and to really get it to the place where I want it to be in order to maybe start something new. So I'm 38 now. That means I might have 5 more 5-year things with absolute high energy in me. Maybe more, we shall see. That means that just going organically, it's cool, it's good, it's the most authentic way. It is more honest, in my opinion. It will give you the more honest feedback if your product sucks or not, because you can always force attention through paid advertising. But what I want to find out, and I limit myself to starting only in business models that can have a profitable paid engine of growth. That is a personal limitation I set on my own selection of startups I'm willing to start. I don't want to start something that goes purely through, let's say, organic SEO, referrals. I'm not into that. Yeah, so in my opinion, I always start with organic, but I very early test if the promotion of the organic content is profitable. And it will even be a disqualifier for a startup product for me if I can't make it profitable. All right, hope that answers that question. LinkedIn Live, what do you think about it? It was a bit of a technical bitch to start with. We now have the permission to do live streams on LinkedIn, at least on the company account, not on my private account yet. Working on that. It's an application process. Yeah, it's still in beta. You can apply for it, and a couple of months later, they maybe deign to answer. And we did a first test live stream, I think like 10 days ago. And we are going to live stream on LinkedIn from now on. We just could not live stream this video because it's not recommended to talk about LinkedIn marketing and sales on LinkedIn. So we left that out. But from the next time, we absolutely believe in LinkedIn live streaming. The notifications are great. The reach seems to be great. I will tell you much more about it once I've streamed a couple of times. Maybe somebody in the audience has good experience with LinkedIn live stream and can tell us in the comments or on Discord. That would be awesome. So LinkedIn integration with HubSpot. Yes, through the sales navigators and some third-party tools, you can have an integration with HubSpot. But again, you have this stupid unidirectional thing that the lead already needs to be in HubSpot, and then the data gets enriched by the tool from the LinkedIn data. It's not like there is an import button, import all my leads to HubSpot. If you find that tool, please tell me. Yes, we know it's doable with tools like Link Helper and stuff like that, but it's not that convenient, and I don't always feel comfortable to import all of my contacts into my CRM. Cool, next question. I don't accept connections if they don't write a message with an invitation. I guess this is more a statement than a question. Good, it's your choice. It's fine. I sometimes am thankful if people are not writing long-winded connection requests because I don't have the time to read them all. If they look competent, are from an area that I'm interested in to connect with people, then I will accept that connection requests. Also because of one thing. First of all, I'm going for the high volume approach, not for the few. If you're on the high volume approach and if you do good content marketing, every connection request you accept is a potential person that you can reach with your content. And I want to do that. I want people to see my content. So I tend to err on accepting. If they behave like a douchebag, I remove them. That's my policy. Cool. What do you think about LinkedIn stories? I wish I had this feature. I think stories have made the rounds. Reels, like the TikTok reels, are doing it really, and LinkedIn is highly interested in becoming a content platform, and stories have proven on almost every single platform, maybe not YouTube, to be highly effective in engaging with your audience in a very light way that doesn't commit too much to it being forever in your newsfeed. So I think there is a place for lightweight content, LinkedIn stories, for much more personal things. I really think stories are meant to be done with your phone in a very real, I'm just talking to the phone way. And this is where authenticity comes in. And whenever authenticity comes into the game on LinkedIn and on sales, I'm all in. I don't value anything, almost anything more than authenticity in a marketing and sales process. Yeah, so I hope it's coming. I hope it's getting a broad reach. I will definitely jump on it as soon as I get the feature enabled on my account. So anybody of you already having access to LinkedIn stories, I would love to see one. Please send me a link to one of your stories or to your profile so I can check it out. Haven't seen it yet. My software development company wants to look for potential customers on LinkedIn. How to search focus for focus for customers where everyone might be a successful lead. So software development companies have a hard time because software companies from Eastern Europe and India have been spamming people on LinkedIn since years. So you will have a hard start from the beginning. My solution to that would be to really dig into a niche in terms of software development. If you are a general software developer, you will always compete on price, not on competence, and you will be outbid by people who are outsourcing to low-cost countries. Yeah, so don't play that game. Niche down, for example, to a certain industry with a certain technology or a certain problem set that you are solving. Yeah, let's say you focus on the development of messenger bots for HR in corporate environments. That is an extreme niche, and you will be the only one who's playing there. Now, if you talk to an HR manager or a CTO from a big corporation and you say you have expertise in building engagement bots for the employees of your big company, they will start to listen to you. If you're a generalized company just saying, yes, I might build a bot for you, or might build something else for you, your website, your whatever, your backend, you will have a very, very hard time. Cool. All right, we're getting to the better question. Oh, 16 questions. Guys, You are crazy. Let's just hit one thing. Let me tell you about the upcoming meetup, because I think we will be sitting here for quite some time to keep on answering questions. If you had enough for today, we are on here since more than 1 hour and 30 minutes to be precise. I would love to have you at the next meetup as well. We essentially are going to now take those leads that are now in our CRM, and we now want to start scoring those leads. Lead scoring means that you try to give people a value like between 0 and 100. 0 means there is a very low probability of them ever becoming a customer, and 100 that they are extremely likely to become your customer. And not all of your leads are created equal, and you need to focus your efforts on the people who are more likely to convert. That process is called lead scoring, and it can be done in pretty much any CRM. Even MailChimp can be abused to have some kind of lead scoring. So if you're interested in that, join us again on August 5th. That is in 2 weeks. Go to maybe 3 weeks, looks like it. Go to getpirateskits.com/lead-scoring and get a free ticket there, so you already have a reminder. Now let's get back to the questions. I just know we're gonna still be talking in half an hour about the questions, and I don't want you to miss the next meetup. Cool. So next question. Let's just get the Windows iMac thing out of the way, because people are always weirded out by that. I wanted to have an iMac for streaming this awesome meetup, but Apple decided not to launch it last WWDC, and they still haven't launched it. So I bought a Windows PC, which is standing over there. Not the PC, it's the parts. All of the parts are assembled over there. I love building computers, and I haven't done so for quite some time because I completely dove into the Apple system, but they just can't do what I need them to do for a reasonable price. So I'm gonna stop being a complete Apple sheep and start building a Windows computer. I will let you know how it's going in the next meetup, but the next meetup is going to be streamed from a PC, not a Mac. If you don't like that, get the fuck out of here. So, I haven't said that. So, next question. How to connect with interesting leaders, avoiding annoying messages which are obviously bot generated or built by automations. So, I guess the Captain Obvious advice is don't use a bot and don't write generic messages. Connect to people, leaders, by going to their profile, looking through their posts, and then writing something specific about a post that was meaningful to you. I've read your article, I've watched your video, I saw you post about X, Y, Z, that had a special meaning to me because blah, blah, blah. I would really love to connect. Thank you very much. That's the way I connect to people that I highly admire, that I'm a bit scared of connecting to because I know they get a lot of messages. So, what do you think of Octopus CRM? Yes, that's a wonderful other tool you can use to do some automation on LinkedIn. There are a gazillion of those tools. I can't go through all the single ones. If somebody is here in the chat that has active experience or currently use Octopus CRM, please write something in Discord on the comments here so the person who asked this question can connect with you. We just can't get to the very, very specific tools. All right. So, do you have any recommendations for a very basic CRM which allows to organize business contacts and leads, preferably with a free web-based version for startups? From Matthias. So Matthias is having a general purpose software development agency. Every customer you have is worth thousands. So don't cheap out on the CRM. That is my first thing. A very basic CRM that will help you to be for free is Trello. Trello goes a long way, just Trello lines. Yeah, use that for your sales pipeline. I've used Trello a long while as a CRM. It works. We then migrated to Asana and their lanes. It works again, and Asana is free and a great product management tool while you're at it. We then upgraded to ActiveCampaign, and we are very, very happy that we did. But that is also because we are very heavily relying on a content marketing strategy in email marketing. I don't think you're doing that, so ActiveCampaign might not be the best fit for you. I would maybe look at Pipedrive for a pretty cheap but very competent paid solution. So the 3 levels would be like Trello, Asana, Pipedrive. Those 2 are free. Cool. Eddie Scotland. Credibility is key. I know the stream is going to be great. Thank you very much, Eddie. That is awesome. The people that are trying to sell are now saying that they want to partner with you. Geez, they are always like, in Germany, we have those 2 brothers, you know, everybody knows who they are pretty much by now. They are training those fuckers, and they just keep on changing the script, and then now they have the new script version, and all of those stupid guys are now using that partner thing. So just show them the finger and block them and tell LinkedIn that they are annoying. Then they get banned. Yeah, if enough people do this. So, do you think one can also advertise live coaching on LinkedIn, like sports coaching or Ayurveda massages, for example? Yes, very much so. I actually see a very large share of my connections that come from salesy people, but that I still kind of like. They come from sports coaches that say like, hey, I'm focused on helping entrepreneurs that are working a lot at their desk, especially during this pandemic time, to fix their problem with back pain. And this would fit right in. So again, the idea is that you have to niche down. I don't think that paid advertising on LinkedIn is gonna be worth your while because it is too expensive. Yeah, and the customer lifetime value that you have is probably not high enough. But going for a good content marketing approach and showing people in the business context how sports coaching and Ayurveda massages can help them to become more productive, become more relaxed, become more wholesome, better work-life balance, I think that has a great place on LinkedIn. Cool, 9 more questions. Awesome, guys. Thank you all for putting in so many questions. That's really cool. So LinkedIn threatened to close my account if I didn't delete Linked Helper. Yes, they even went to court with Linked Helper. At the end, they couldn't forbid the usage of Linked Helper because there is this clause with LinkedIn and with Linked Helper that tells you that you're only allowed to connect with people that you know. Of course, in practice, we all know that's usually not the case if you use a tool like Linked Helper. That is why LinkedIn is trying to always push back against any LinkedIn automation tools, but it's like a cat and mouse game. Yeah, sometimes LinkedIn is ahead and you have to pause using Linked Helper for a while, and then Linked Helper becomes better in hiding their tracks, and then you can use Linked Helper again. Most of the time you can use it, but not all the time. So, I finished off a question that I didn't answer. Maybe Christina can help me with that. How did I kill that question? I'm so sorry. Maybe you can see the last question that I killed. It should be back up soon. Yeah. So, what do you think about LinkedIn ads to promote your business? Isn't that a shortcut? Thanks, Andreas Hörchel. Oh, thanks for Andreas for joining. That's awesome that you're here. So LinkedIn ads are for high customer lifetime value businesses, people who sell something that is worth multiple thousands, ideally per year. That is where LinkedIn ads can be highly profitable. If you're selling a pretty cheap subscription, like a 10 euro, 99 euro per month subscription, you usually don't have the conversion numbers to make the 5 euro, 10 euro per click viable. Yeah, so I will I'm saying this from the perspective of you are having a high customer lifetime value business. So it is a shortcut. As I said, I don't have the patience anymore to go pure organic. Organic is my 60-70% baseline. That is, I'm building everything on organic content marketing, but then I want to push it to the people who are outside of my bubble through advertising. So I'm a fan of LinkedIn ads. Yeah, we are currently promoting all of the videos that we are doing on a consistent campaign that just promotes every video with $10 per day. Yeah, so that's that. Cool. So content marketing or LinkedIn networking, what is preferable? It's both. Yeah, LinkedIn Content Magic, that was the meetup about content marketing. This was the one about networking. I couldn't put it into one because it's a much too complex topic, even to talk about it in 2 times 90 minutes. So I would highly recommend starting with content marketing. That shows that you know what you're talking about, that you are providing value, that you get organic reactions with people. And it makes it much more likely that people who you are reaching out to, first of all, accept your connection request because you have an authentic profile. And second, that you now, through your content, build a long-term relationship with that person. Even if you're not writing with them, they still see your content once in a while. And if they engage, they see more of your content. If they engage, they see more of your content. And if they engage with your content, then you go for the connection request and the chat. Not the connection request, the chatting and the, hey, let's have an appointment and see how we can help each other. So it's building on top of each other. So there's the question, FYI, if your sentence doesn't end with a question mark, it's not a question, which is the only purpose of Slido. Yes, thank you very much for that information. We shared it with the world now. Love you guys. Next question. My post today has 150 likes, 29 comments in 10 hours. Due to this, I got about 50 plus messages on a daily basis. How do I convert them to paying clients? First of all, this is the testament of content marketing as a prerequisite for good inbound marketing. So you now have an awesome problem. People are connecting to you. I would really like to know which post it was. So if you are still in here, feel free to share that post in the comments on YouTube, Facebook, or in Discord. Yeah, that's totally fine. A bit of self-promotion is awesome. So congrats on that. Now you have to figure out how to convert those people. Think about it. That there are probably a lot of people who are not right for this product, and some people are. And what is the way to filter that? What I try to do is I simply ask questions. Yeah, I ask questions that might be very direct, like, are you interested in any of my offers, like workshops, or should we just keep chatting about this or that topic from your post? Both is fine. Yeah, just tell them both is fine. Just give them a chance to qualify. You can also do something that you say, oh yeah, I expanded on that in my article. Here's a link to the article. And that article then has a pitch to your product. That is a very smooth way to, first of all, see people who click to your article, and then to see the people who then convert there. Another way to go is to have a free lead magnet that people need to give their contact data for. So again, you try to step up the commitment level. First commitment was connection requests. Now, are you interested in my freebies? For example, you have a checklist for whatever topic you're an expert for. Hey, in case you want this checklist, you can go to this landing page and give me your contacts, and then I know you're interested. And this is again a signal that people want to hear more from you. If not, no harm done. Yeah, and just keep chatting friendly with them. All right, 4 more questions. How do you get your content in front of people, not in your connections? On LinkedIn, a lot of stuff works through hashtags, through tagging other people and to having people like, comment, and share on your comment. That triggers a signal on LinkedIn to show it through to the network of the person who have engaged. That means that content that is highly engaging, that creates a lot of comments and likes and shares, that will automatically expand from your own connections to the persons who have engaged with your post. And then, as I said, hashtags are absolute valid strategy. We recently had one of our book recommendations, I think the Lean Startup was it, rank as a trending article on a hashtag. And we got about 4 or 5 times the amount of views than we usually get. And so the clever use of hashtags is something that you can do to expand your reach over there. We talked about that during the LinkedIn Content Magic meetup as well. So, still 4 questions. Do you only use ActiveCampaign or any additional CRM solution? Do you try other systems before you decided on ActiveCampaign? Yes. I think I started where most of us started with, which was MailChimp. I tried Pipedrive, I tried Trello and Asana, the free tools. I tried HubSpot a lot. I tried Intercom for a long time. And from Intercom, I finally moved to ActiveCampaign. And that is the tool for my business model in this time that is correct for me. It does not need to be the right tool for you, but I have never been so happy with the CRM. It is reasonably priced. It has awesome marketing automation and email features, and you know that the sales and support part is done excellently. And I needed that. I needed a tool that is competent in email marketing and sales. And HubSpot just isn't my vibe, even though that is working well for a lot of companies as well. It's just too much of an all-in-one solution for me. Do I use additional software to ActiveCampaign? Let me think. Yeah, of course, I do a lot of like data enrichment. I zip zap with Zapier a lot. I use Eventbrite. I use Meetup.com, and they all kind of manage a lot of my contact data. But ActiveCampaign is by far like it's the brain, it's the hub of everything, and I try to make it my single source of truth for all my campaigns. Cool. Still 4 questions. 4 questions. What is the best content approach, experiment, work, post to drive more engagement? What is the best content approach? Experiment, work, post to drive more engagement. So let me interpret it as what is the best approach to try to get more engagement on your posts? Yeah. First of all, I would check out the content marketing, the LinkedIn Content Magic meetup, because I showed you all of the different content types and how they are impacted in terms of reach and engagement on LinkedIn. And so this would be my first concrete answer here. Test the content types. You have messages. You have, for example, an event coming up. Now you can use a text post, you can use an image post, you can do a poll, you can do a video, you can do a document, you can write an article about it. Those are all the LinkedIn different post types that might be a good fit for your event promotion. So I experiment a lot with what kind of post types on any platform get the most engagement. Then the text that you write in the description of the post, the way you write it, should you ask questions? Should you do statements? Should you tag people? Should you not tag people? Should you use hashtags? Should you put the link in the comments, or should you put the link in the text? Those are the kinds of experiments I would go for. And content-wise, if you're wondering what you're writing, then look at the book Story Branding from Donald Miller. It's like the best starting point of working and experimenting with your message. Cool. Thank you for that question. So I saw that the guy with 150 likes, that you posted that link onto Slido. You see now that it's available. I hope you have already linked that maybe Christina can share that link on at least on Discord, so everybody can check out that. So thank you very much for sharing it here. So next questions, the almost last question. Do you have any stats on how many views, benchmarks, figures on videos on LinkedIn? Okay, I get it. Do I have benchmarks? If you're talking about ads, then I go for a 3 to 4 cent per view benchmark. A view on LinkedIn is sadly already a 2-second view, so it's not that meaningful. But then it completely depends on the engagement level of your audience, of the size and the engagement level of your audience on what is good or a bad number on your videos. You have to publish like 5 videos and you will get an average, and you will see what is above and below average. And you will very, very quickly understand what kind of videos work better than the others. Usually it's going to be very obvious. It is very rare that all of your videos get like 500 in reach. Yeah, it's just not happening. Cool. That was it. Those were the last questions. Thank you guys. Yeah, let's switch back to the slides. So this was really fun. 1.5 hours in, we should really stop now. Again, I would love to see you again on August 5th. Where we talk about lead scoring like a pirate. So we take the leads in the CRM and now we try to score them and figure out who are the good ones and the not so good ones. You can already like keep on asking questions for the upcoming meetup. Christina will update that link really soon. And if you are here on YouTube, please take the time, if you get any value out of this video series, and leave a subscribe and a like on the videos, and let me know in the comments what you particularly liked and how we could improve. Thank you very much for that. Cool. Then as you can see, we got the circle of growth marketing skills, and we were now in the content marketing and storytelling area, where we generally talk about free or time for money ways to get traffic, while on this side we talk about the paid ways. But the next meetup, we always go round and round and round. It's going to be about funnel building, and an important part of funnel building is lead scoring in a CRM, because you use those lead scores as a trigger to send emails, to make appointments, to do active sales or more passive sales. Then we're going to talk about analytics. This time we're going to talk about Google Tag Manager, because we get the question about Tag Manager tracking so often that we're finally going to do that, also in the context of our case study Monday Rocks. I'm really excited about that. Then if you're interested, let me know. Should we talk about LinkedIn ads here during this traffic meetup? Or should we maybe go for Google ads for once? And then we're going to talk about conversion rate optimization again. And then we're going to switch the case study to a more B2C model. If you are interested in becoming the case study, the B2C case study, in the next round of meetups, let me know. Yeah, send me your case, show me how far you have gotten. We are looking for businesses that have seen some organic traction that we can now push through the roof. If you want to go deeper with all of this kind of stuff, we have a series of workshops. You can check them out at growth.pirateskills.com. And we take those 6 skills and just provide you a complete full day infusion of best practices and step-by-step tutorials on how to get your business further in those areas. Cool. Then we're going to chill out a little bit now in the Discord community. I hope my computer survives. It actually is now at 8% of battery, which I'm really glad that it did. Thank you, MacBook, for surviving, but fuck you for giving me a shock like that. So join us on Discord at getpirateskills.com, and we're gonna hang out in the voice chat community, which is called like live stream voice. Yeah, so jump in, turn on your mic, let's talk a little bit. Guys, that was a pleasure. Thank you very much. Ben is out. Bye-bye.